everybody. Welcome to Soul Space. I am Georgia Rose from Zencuda, and it must be 7 o'clock at Monday night because I am here in the Soul Space. So, welcome. This is the show where we talk about all things spiritual. I am a psychic astrologer, founder of the Zencuda community online, and sometimes we pull cards if we have time. I think tonight we will. Tonight's topic is all about dreams because I have been hearing so many people on my social media and emailing and messaging me that they have been having really, really vivid dreams the last few days. And that's the reason for that is obviously Neptune in the sky, but where it is. But I think that if we can interpret some of those dreams, there's a lot of really amazing messages in them. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And also, of course, we'll start with a little astrology. But first, for all of my beautiful Zencudas out there, I would really love it if you would share the show. And I'm going to take a moment just to do that on all of my pages so that our members can find us and interact with us tonight. If any of you want to talk about something that you've had recently, maybe you want to call into the show or comment live and I will answer. And we're also going to be pulling cards later. So stay tuned, sit back, relax, maybe pour yourself a drink and beverage of your choice and spend the next hour in the soul space with me. I'd really love that. So I'm just going to share the show, like I said, and I would love it if you at home could share the show too. Okay, so here I am, back to the Strong Island page, and I'm going to see who's online. Hey, Michelle, how are you? I have Anne, Michelle, Sarah, Janine, some of my regulars, Marie. So glad to see you guys back. Thank you so much for supporting my work and also being such a loyal following. I love that every Monday at 7 o'clock we have a beautiful group in the soul space. I'm going to send you all up some hearts because we are doing this live on Facebook. If you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my Zencuda on YouTube because that is where we have over 140 videos about living the Zencuda life, which is living to your full potential with your soul leading you. And we've got old astrology videos. And of course, every soul space that we do is taped and put right up there. So thanks so much for tuning in. So let's talk tonight a little bit about the astrology, and then we'll get to the dreams. Dreams, what are our dreams all about? I've been having such vivid dreams the last couple of nights. I'll tell you all about that. But first I want to talk a little bit about the astrology because some things are going happening this week that are pretty intense. I talked a lot about the nodes of the moon moving into Aries and Leo. That's pretty intense. That'll be for the next 18 months. If you're not sure what that means, you can go back into the shows that I did the last couple of weeks and some extra videos on my social media and also on YouTube and see what that's all about. Definitely going to be changing a lot of our destinies. We're really being pushed right now in the cosmos to step into our soul space. What does that mean? It means that we're being pushed into our full potential. So Pluto starts to square the nodes now. And Pluto is the planet of transformation. But if you really think about what that means, Pluto is the planet of choice. So with the nodes of the moon in Aries, which wants us to go, 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 and Libra is the south node, which wants us to kind of stop being dependent on things. It's going to blow away some of those relationships where we are super dependent. We have 18 months to adjust, so don't worry, guys. But with the north node there and the node squaring Pluto, this is really going to push us into some hard choices. If you're in relationships that no longer serve you, if you're in a job that no longer serves you, this is really going to be the next 18 months where you're really, really pushed to step into what's better for you on a soul level, what supports your soul space, your soul supportive life. This is something that is really going to be heightened this week because now we've got Venus going retrograde. And Venus going retrograde is about kind of the same thing, only with a little bit of a different spin. Venus retrograde, which this time when Venus is retrograde, it's not just going to be for a few weeks like normal. Venus stays retrograde for months. Yes, months. Venus does not come out of retrograde until September, where it comes out of its shadow, and then October, where it really, really comes out of retrograde. So this combined with the nodes of the moon where they are and Pluto squaring the nodes for the next 9 months is all about choices. It's all about what we love, what we value. Is it up to our full potential? Is it lacking? Are we really not living the life that we're supposed to be living and meant to be living? And is that out of alignment now becoming such a intense feeling of discomfort that we've got to push ourselves forward into making the change, making the choice? So this is really time, I hate to use the expression, but This is time to fish or cut bait. This is about the next 18 months. You're really going to have events and things happen in your life that are going to show you. And that's why I wanted to talk about dreams tonight, because I feel like our dreams contain a lot of messages about where we're being led, what we're supposed to be doing, and that kind of thing. So the best advice I can give you while these nodes of the moon are squaring Pluto and is to stop, look, and listen, because where Pluto is, and when I say it's squaring the nodes of the moon, it means that Pluto and the nodes are blind to each other. They can't really communicate very well. They're at a crossroads. It's like a 90-degree angle where you can't really see. It's in the blind spot. Each node and Pluto is in the blind spot of each other. So what happens is that this creates something where we need to make decisions because we have to have balance. We have to put something in balance so that we can see those planets, can see those messages, can see the direction and the path that our life's supposed to go. So how do we do that? Well, we have to stop, we have to look, and we have to listen, because this is a time when we're able to manifest tremendous messages. I recently had a personal experience where I was getting a deep healing from a friend, and before I went into the healing, I set an intention to be able to feel love, healing, and really find my next step. And I had a wonderful experience in the healing, but what I've noticed since then is that I'm so clear. I have such clarity for seeing my path and the steps that I have to do in order to get there. And it was really interesting to have that happen, because it was almost as though the exact words that I set for the intention were really what were given to me. And I think we're in a very heightened time right now where that's possible for all of us. So keep your thoughts really pure, really focused on what you want, not what you don't want, but also stop, look, and listen. Look around, observe what's going on. You know more than you think you know. And that's also going to come to the surface during this Venus retrograde. I did a video about self-devotion and structural discipline last week, and those are the key things that are going to bring you to the steps you need to be brought to in order to really step into the things in life that you desire. That's where you start. I think this is an energy where we get a little cloudy and we don't know where to start. We don't know where the right step is. And this is an energy where, that right step isn't some drastic move. It's not going home and packing our desk up or packing our suitcase up and, not going into work tomorrow or not going home to that partner. This is a gradual 9 to 18 months of a clearing of something that, for whatever reason, you've been stuck in or you haven't been able to manifest. And what you're going to find is that the steps will reveal themselves. Ask yourself, what do I have to do to not be employed in this place anymore? What do I have to do to change my relationship? What do I have to do to end this toxic environment? What do I have to do to end this challenging situation with my parent, my child? And the steps will come to you. It's not something that you're going to, jump up and say, I got it, I know what I'm going to do. No, this is a sequential, deliberate changes in your life that are going to be making changes that will be in effect for many, many years. This is a really important time for us. It's a really important time where not only can we manifest all the things that we desire because we have such strong, powerful manifestation and powerful thought process right now that are connected to higher source, but it's also a time where we have the support of the universe to make those hard choices. So be patient and be strategic, because this isn't a go out willy-nilly, throw some stuff against the wall. Oh, I hate this person, I never want to talk to them again. That's not the way to go. The way to go is really stop, look, observe, listen. What are the behaviors I need to change? What are the physical things I need to manifest in this life in order to make the move? So be patient and strategic. That is what this energy for the next 9 to 18 months wants of us. The sun is aligned with Pluto. The last time this happened was January 18th, 2023, the beginning of this year. At some point in January, around that time, you planted a seed for something. The energy right now, the next couple of days, are manifesting those seeds even more than they were throughout this whole year. So think back to that January. Maybe it was a New Year's resolution that you really only started to put into play 3 weeks later. Or maybe it was something that happened after, New Year's, when you really were first starting to think about what you wanted to do this year. But somewhere around that January 18th mark, something occurred, something happened. Go back in your texts, your diaries, your journals, your calendars, your emails. What was it that you decided to birth then? Now is the time when that new seed is really coming up again, and we have the power to move that train forward. Um, Also, the sun being opposed to Pluto is really about, which was the last few days. So now we're coming into its alignment. But the sun, I'm sorry, the sun is opposed to Pluto for these last few days. It was aligned with Pluto around January 18th of this year, which means that the energy is coming back around. I didn't want to explain that clearly. The energy is coming back around of that same thing. But now, because the sun is opposing it, this is about what decision do you have to make to resolve it? What decision do I have to make in order to move things forward? I'll give you an example. In my life, after I had that deep healing, one of the things that I saw very clearly, I have a couple of books that I've been writing that are half written. And I never really could figure out the path I wanted to go, which should be released first. It really needs to be strategic for my brand, right? So, and I'm very good at business. So I knew I had to make the right maneuver. So after that healing, all of a sudden it came so clear to me which book I should release first. And now I'm finishing that at an alarming rate of time. It's just coming and flowing out of me because I made the decision. And one of the things that came forward when I was making that decision and getting that clear was about there are things taking my time and pulling and robbing me of the time when I should be doing this book. I should be sitting and writing. So, like last week's show, I had to muster my self-devotion in order to be structured and disciplined to sit and write. And I am enjoying this and loving it, and it's bringing me so much joy because I'm clear now. So this is that energy. It's the energy of whatever you started in January comes back around, gets rebirthed, reseeded with clarity. As long as you make the tough choice and make the resolution to do what is required and let go of what is blocking you in the way. And that's going to become very clear in the next few days, in the next couple of months. So learn to master listening. That is really the message of Aries, Libra, North and South Node for the next 18 months. That Aries, Libra axis requires of us to listen. And not just like, oh, yeah, I'm listening. No, deeply listen. And I'm going to ask all of you to listen without the intent to reply. When we listen without the intent to reply, we really hear and we deeply listen. And we allow something to flow over us and feel the energy of what someone is saying. Whether we agree with it, disagree with it, are repelled by it, or are attracted to it, we must step into a place where we are deeply listening in order to find that sensation. So I'm going to challenge everybody in the Zencuda communities to deeply listen without the intent to reply. How many times, someone's speaking with us, and by the third word in the sentence, we already know, well, we want to say that, no. We got to stop doing that to each other and really deeply listen. And then, after you've deeply listened, make a plan based on what feels right to you. That is the most important thing about this energy. There's a lot of other detail, but that's the most important thing for the next 18 months. Also, remember, Pluto is not just the planet of choice. Pluto is also a planet that wants us to be cautious. And while Pluto is running the show the next 9 months, you really want to be cautious. This is about really kind of making room for kindness. It's about making room to focus on the niceties of life, but in a boundary kind of a way. You're going to frame it in what's right for you. This energy doesn't want us to be overly kind and overly nice at our own expense. Remember that self-devotion. And that show is up on YouTube if you want to go back and listen to it. So I want to go back a little bit to the Venus retrograde. Venus is going to be retrograde till September, actually October, even if you really count the shadow of the retrograde. This is all about wherever it is in your chart, what you value and love, but what you really need to release. So Venus is the planet of love and values. Venus oftentimes in our lives, wherever it is in the chart, shows up as like want versus need. And so when we have that battle of like, I can just use an example of love relationships, right? How many of us are attracted to the bad boy or the narcissistic lady, but we still going back to that type, right? And it's because we think we want that, but that's not really what we need, you know? Hey, I spent a great deal of my misspent youth dating guys who wore leather pants and eyeliner. That probably wasn't really great for me, but it was fun and I liked it and I thought I wanted that. But, you know, I wouldn't be going to that now, right? Well, maybe kind of, but not really. So just making a joke. Um, so it's about realizing and bringing in a certain maturity, especially because that Virgo energies are playing in with us. And Mercury's in Virgo, where it's in its home sign. That's going to be in Virgo for a long time as well. So that's going to give us practicality. So if we can take this Venus retrograde where it's want versus need and bring in the Mercury Virgo energy of, well, I really have to look at the detail here. I need to vet these people. I need to really vet my love relationships. I need to vet my other relationships. You really want to stop, look, and listen, right? That's our catchphrase for this month into August. Stop, look, and listen. You really want to stop, look, and listen. Who is this person? Who are they showing me who they are? Because in a Venus retrograde, you may have rose-colored glasses on, and you may also be overly powered, overwhelmed by your wants, your desire, but not really what's good for you, right? So what do you want may not be what you need. So really be cautious in this energy till well into September, because you may meet new people, and if you don't really slow down, stop, look, listen, and vet them, it may lead to a little bit of a debacle in your life. And don't say I didn't warn you. So patience and strategy, be patient and strategic, let things really come through that are supposed to come through. Use discernment. Pluto wants us to make choices. Pluto is the planet of transformation through choice. North Node in Aries can be a little hot-headed. You're going to see a lot of people get aggressive in this energy. And Libra wants us to balance it all by not being interdependent, by not being codependent, but by being intradependent on each other. Pluto seeks questions and answers the next couple of months. So ask your questions. You meet someone new, ask the questions that you don't usually ask. Be direct. That is what this energy really wants us to do, because that's how we're going to know what we need to review, right? When the planet is retrograde, it's all those rewords. What do we need to review? What do we need to redo? Don't be surprised if old loves and old flames pop out of the woodwork in this energy. That's what happens with a Venus retrograde. So the last time Venus was retrograde at exactly this point was July 23rd, 1999, July 27th, 2007, July 25th, 2015, and now July 23rd, 2023, well into September, October. So think about that and, try and find out in your old mindset of 99 and 07 and 15 and 23, what were the important things I need to review, right? Retrograde, review, redo, reconnect, reevaluate, all those, any word starts with an R-E, that's what we do during a retrograde. Respect, right? Respect the past. So what was happening in those dates? What's replaying again? What seed did you plant in January that now you want to bring to fruition? So how does that play into this particular time frame of what were my values for myself back then on all those dates years ago? What are my values right now? And how does the dream that I'm formulating in the beginning of this year play out now so that I can really bring it into fruition and make sure that it is in alignment with the values I have for myself? Okay? And that is the astrology. I'm going to go to the dreams, if you guys want to talk to me about your dreams. I'm just looking if there's anything else I wanted to say. Oh, that was the other thing. Mercury and Venus coming together is all about being happy and joyful. It's really good for messages like heightened intuition and messages. I know I spoke with one of our Zencuda members through Messenger earlier today, and he's just getting rapid fire messages through his meditation, channeling, etc. It's a great time to do that. Automatic write, come in and really be coming into the soul space and like just drawing or seeing what you are doing. The first book that I actually am publishing is a book about my drawings and channels that'll be directly given to you. Also, since Mercury is going to be in Virgo for a long time, usually Mercury speeds through a sign. Mercury is going to be in Virgo probably from now until most of August. So Mercury is at home in Virgo, and Virgo, is the fussy taskmaster. Virgo likes to clean up, clear up. It's great at separating. Usually Virgo is September, that time of year when we separate the wheat from the chaff, harvest time, right? You harvest the good, throw out the bad to be now put in the garden and cleaned up again. This is a fabulous, fabulous time to spruce up the house, spruce up the yard, spruce up your closets, spruce up yourself, clean out your electronic emails, your voicemails, your closets, your old clothes. It is a great time to refurbish, renew, and just clean, reset, those rewords again, right? This is when you really want to make sure that you are processing the details and getting rid of the cumbersome stuff that really should not even be in your energy field. So who's on? What do we got going on? Tell me about your dreams, people. I want to hear. Hey, Suzanne Grossman, how are you doing? I have Yira on, Joanna Maya. So somebody tell me about their dream. I want to see how good I am at interpreting dreams tonight. I'll tell you a little bit about my dreams to get us started. And if anybody wants to call in, Bobby will put the phone number on. So if you want to call in and tell us about your dream, no matter how weird or strange it is, we're going to see what we can interpret about that dream. So I'll start off by telling you the dream I had. I have been dreaming so vividly the last couple of days. And I think it's just because I've been working with a lot of crystals and I've been doing a lot of things that really heighten my own soul space. So 2 nights in a row, and this is how I know this is really meaningful, when you dream 2 nights in a row, the same type of stuff. Not exactly the same dream. Like I do have some reoccurring dreams in my life, but I'm really not prone to that. But I dreamt of babies. Now, I'm past the age of bearing children. And shocker there, right? You guys thought I was like 25. And I don't have children. So for me to dream, and there's no babies in my family anymore. My youngest niece and nephew are 11. So like I'm not around babies. I love babies, but I'm not around them. And I started to dream of babies the last 2 nights. So the first night, I dreamt of changing a poopy diaper. And it wasn't like anything bad. It was like, a little experience of taking care of the baby. And you know how you change diapers. I've changed diapers in my life with a lot of nieces and nephews and friends' babies and all that. And that was the first night. And I woke up and I didn't feel odd. I felt like actually really good. Like I could feel the love of the baby. And so I immediately processed that. And I started to think about, because I'm very much remembering my dreams now. I never used to. But what I do now is when I wake up, if I know I've dreamt and I don't remember it, I ask Spirit, please give me back the dream so I can remember and work with you with it. And then sometimes it takes a few minutes. Sometimes I'll even be eating breakfast and the dream will come back. But it will if you relax. The dream will come back to you. It is there in your brain. So getting back to the baby thing. So when I woke up the first time, the poopy diaper dream, I didn't feel anything weird or anything about the poopy diaper. I felt like the more of the love from the baby, and the baby was like laying there and cooing, and you know how kids are when you change them. And so I just remembered that. And what it did for me that day, it was really interesting. This was Saturday night into Sunday. What it did for me was I wanted to feel that love, right? That beautiful, pure love of a baby. I thought, oh my God, that is just such a beautiful feeling when you hold a baby and the way they smell, and just babies are so beautiful, right? They're innocent and lovely. And so what I've been doing the last couple of days, and it's been really wonderful, is when I meditate, or even if I'm just getting ready for my day, the last couple of mornings, I did it a few times, I focus on that feeling of love. And I've been bringing in and surrounding, you can see I'm getting joyful just thinking about it. I don't know if you can see on air my aura changing, but I just put in that love and I started to bring it a step further and I said, my soul has been loved. Right? In this lifetime, I've known love. I've had heartbreak as well, but I've known love. A lot of people have loved me in my life. Even, dysfunctional parents, you can feel how they've loved you, at times. And so I started to think about that and I'm like, wow, I really have been loved. And then I thought, well, this isn't my first lifetime. And my soul goes through so many lifetimes. So can you imagine how much love this soul has had in all of these lifetimes? Damn, I'm just going to bring that force field around me, right? Because everything lives on in the soul. The soul is eternal. And then I'm thinking about how much my soul has loved, right? So I started to focus more on how I've been loved and how much my soul has been loved. And let me tell you, what an amazing exercise for any of those moments when we feel unworthy or we feel like we don't have enough love in our life. And I realized that's why I dream about my dog that passed a lot, because it was the same type of love, maybe not as intense as human love, kind of in some ways, yes. but that beautiful feeling of being loved and having something to just love. And so now, before I leave the house or I have to do anything that I know is in the outside world, even like this show or online, I surround myself with the force field and I just say a really quiet little prayer. And I just say, God, please surround me with all the love my soul has ever known and allow that to be the force field around me for today. And you can't help but feel bubbly and happy. So that was the poopy diaper dream actually brought me to that place, right? So you see how we can work with our dreams if we really think about them. Second one that I had was another baby dream, which was last night into today. And that was just this baby hugging me, like hugging me. And that feeling when a kid hugs you, like, oh my gosh, like it just bubbles up in you, complete and total joy. And so I know that that second dream was the universe, God telling me, yeah, you got it right, kid. That's why we gave you the poopy diaper dream. So now we're going to show you how it feels like to have this baby hug you. I don't know. Maybe tonight I'll dream about the baby again. I don't know. But I just got to say, it's like the most loving dream I've had in a very, very long time. I usually have kind of, when I'm upset about something, spooky dreams. But so that was really interesting. So let me see what your dreams have. So Suzanne says she dreams a camp for kids who have suffered loss. That's interesting too. The other thing I took away from the dream, maybe this will help you a little bit, was I think when we dream of babies, it's really our inner child. And I think the cleaning the poopy diaper was me getting rid of some crap in my life. I hate to say it, but that's what I thought. And so the next day when the baby was hugging me, it was like, thank you for really coming into consciousness about this, you know? So I think when we dream of children, it's really our own inner child. So maybe, Suzanne, that camp for loss is your inner child needs to deal with the loss too of things that your adult person has suffered, or maybe even things you suffered as a child, and you have to really work on that feeling of loss. Maybe the exercise I just talked about with bringing in all the love you've ever felt in your life will help you with that, because I think that put me in so much gratitude. And you know, guys, I say this in the Zencuda community and soul space all the time, gratitude is the antidote for everything. Gratitude is the antidote for everything in your life. If you bring yourself into gratitude, I don't care what is going on, you will immediately be able to cope. It is the antidote for grief, for everything. So I think baby dreams are actually dreams of our inner child and our, you know, our inner self healing, that we need to do healing work. And maybe it's also a dream literally that you should be working with children with loss. Maybe you can offer something to them. I know you've had loss in your life. So let me see, anything else on dreams. Dreams. I keep hearing the song in my head. Joanne Amaya says, I had weird dreams in the last 2 days with my boys, and we are running up. I can't remember if it was for fun or we were, hold on a sec already, or we were running away from something. So what I would do is go back into the dream, like just, you know, in your waking hours, and really think about when you woke up, how did you feel about the dream? That's also a very big indicator of, was the dream something unsettling or not? Because sometimes when we apply three-dimensional, this world's attitudes and programming through the symbolism in the dream, it can be scary. Like the poopy diaper dream wasn't very pleasant, but when I brought it to a more spiritual context, it was. So I think sometimes maybe do that if you're trying, like Joanne, to figure out what is the emotion attached with this, what's the message attached with it. If it's a dream where you feel more like you were a little bit frightened and running away from something, it could be a warning dream. Maybe there's something you need to be more secure about, or secure more in your life to keep safer. Or it could also be a dream of your own fear, and you know, spirit showing you don't need to run away. This is your fear talking. If it's a dream where you're running towards something great, that could be a predictory dream of actually bringing yourself into some good fortune. You know, that something wonderful is going to happen. Maybe you're manifesting something. So yeah, I think that's what I would say about that. Oh, thank you, Gira. I know, and that love just came to me, and I want you all to utilize that, because I want you all to feel that. I want everyone in the universe to feel that feeling of just like, wow, my soul has been loved. And can you imagine all the love your soul has had over eons? Like, I don't even know how many lifetimes I've had, but I've remembered ones that were very old. So I can imagine my soul has experienced great, great love in its life, maybe suffering too, but I'm not focusing on that. Joanne, yep, that's you. You always show love. You always give the best hugs, Joanne, whenever I see you. So Maria Laverne says she has a good friend and her goddaughter. She had her dream. Were over her house and they saw bugs on the wall and killed them with their hands. When we met for dinner that week, she had strange dream of killing bugs with her hands. She was the friend in my dream killing the bugs. What is the meaning of bugs in a dream? Okay. So when you see bugs in a dream, it's my understanding that a lot of times that can literally mean something's bugging you. Like, insects obviously are insects, but it literally can mean like something's bothering you, something's bugging you. It's an annoyance in your life that you're trying to get rid of. The fact that you're doing it with your hands for me is very symbolic of the fact that you need to heal something, because we use our hands quite often to heal, right? We stroke someone, we hug someone, we use our hands to make things and fix things. And so that's what I would say. I'm wondering if you and your friend have something in common where either you watched something, some stimuli where there was something like that that stimulated you both to think like that, or more than likely you have an annoyance between you, maybe a mutual friend or a mutual family member or something that is annoying both of you, and you feel like you just have to kind of like swat it with your hands and because that's what I feel like. I feel like there's an annoyance, there's something that's annoying you. And also, when we see bugs in a dream and they're symbolizing annoyance, that dream for me, especially with you actually killing them in the dream, that dream is power. You are literally squashing your annoyance. You are literally canceling things. You are killing something. You are destroying something. You are ending something. You are resolving it. So whatever is an annoyance to you in your life or something that just keeps bugging you, maybe you and your friend work in the same place or have the same type of jobs or have the same type of people annoying you at your jobs or in your lives or whatever. Or maybe it's just a situation. That is a dream where you are getting rid of it in a very harsh way. You're ending it, right? You're killing it. You're transforming it. That would be my take on that. You, if would know what that annoyance is if you really start to think about that. But when you think about the annoyance, also kind of think a lot about the fact that how powerful you were to do that. Even if it was kind of icky and you had to squash a bug or you didn't really want to do it, you asserted your power over that annoyance and you did what you had to do. That's very symbolic. So that's very symbolic. Um, yeah, and the fact that she had the same dream makes me feel like it was really something you two are sharing in common, some kind of annoyance that's common between the two of you. Both of you have to assert your power, and you did in the dream. Janine says, once in a while, something from my past, like an ex. Yeah, we dream a lot about exes, especially, I hate to say it, we dream about a lot of dead people, a lot of people who've crossed over. Sometimes that's a visitation if they're not here on Earth. But if it's just someone who's still alive, or maybe we haven't seen in a while or something, many times that's because our subconscious has not reconciled or resolved the energy. And also, sometimes that's because we dream of past loves, especially because we're longing for something that was good about that relationship that we want to feel again. For many, many years after my divorce, I dreamed of my ex-husband because for him and I, we had an extremely passionate love and for many years, and we were very, very, very close. And so, and I say very, very, very because we just were. It was the timing of our lives. I don't know if I would really have that type of relationship again. I may have a better one. I may have something very intense. But the way that he and I were was something extremely compatible and entwined, let's say. So oftentimes I would dream of him because that particular entwined type of love was not something I had in my life. And there was a part of me in my heart that missed that. So I would dream of that often. And it wasn't because I wanted to be back with him or I wanted him in my life. It was because that's an integral part of us as humans craving certain types of love that is satisfying for us. It could also be a sexual dream, where you're dreaming about an ex because you miss him physically. Maybe there's some things that are sexual or sensual that you did with that partner that you don't have in your life. So usually it's something when we're dreaming of an ex that is unresolved. It can be something unresolved in that vein, or it can be something that's unresolved as far as you didn't speak and say what you needed to say. You didn't give yourself the closure you needed. There's something unresolved in that regard as well. If that's the case, I always suggest to people write it, burn it. You do not need that other person to find closure. Closure is something we give ourselves by reconciling the energy of the relationship. So if we keep dreaming about a person constantly, we need to reconcile that relationship in our own minds and heart and soul. Don't forget, when we dream, we're completely vulnerable, right? The thoughts that come in, we have no mechanism that stops the thought like we do in life. Like, that's a bad thought, that's a good thought. When we dream, that's gone. Our resistance is completely gone. So our subconscious and our soul is going to dream what it wants us to see in real life so that we can do some work. So if you're dreaming about an ex, maybe you're making the same mistake with somebody else. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Maybe it's a friendship. It's coming in to show you there's a message here you have not gotten yet. There's a message here that's unresolved. All right. Um, Anita Mina says she rarely remembers her dreams, but last week she did have a dream about a really old friend that lives in a far country that I haven't connected with in years. Well, with Venus retrograde and Neptune in the sky where it is, these dreams are so vivid right now. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that you need to reach out to that person or maybe look them up on social media, see what they're doing. It could just be that the universe, has a message with that for you. Maybe there's a message in that friendship or relationship. What was it about that was really life altering for you or something that stuck with you? And maybe the energy is something you need to be working with or understand, or there's a lesson there. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be around that person, but there's a message within that energy. I hope I'm explaining that right. For instance, maybe you're going to dream about a neighbor that you had when you were a kid. It doesn't mean you're supposed to look up that neighbor. Oh my God, I'm supposed to contact this person. It could, but it may more than likely mean there was something about that person or that relationship that has a parallel to something going on in your life now. And there's a message there the universe is trying to show you. Um, and also, I wanted to say about rarely remembering dreams. We can remember dreams. We tell ourselves we don't remember them, but we do. We just haven't, augmented. We haven't accessed the part of our brain that has it. Okay. So just say a prayer upon awakening. I know I dreamed something weird last night. Spirit, could you help me remember it? And then just go about your day. It'll pop into your head. If you resist it, it won't. But if you allow it, it will. Okay. Um, Very in sync. Marie says all that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling anyway. Gira, I don't remember the whole dream, but at the end, I kissed my mother on her cheek, and it felt so real. If your mom is passed over, those kind of dreams I feel are a visitation. If your mom is still in this lifetime with you and not, in your home with you or something like that, sometimes we have those dreams because they could be dreaming of us, believe it or not. Or we're supposed to, just be connected with that energy because it just is nice and beautiful. And that's such a beautiful dream to be able to kiss your mom. I know sometimes my mom comes to me in my dreams and she touches my face. And I just love that because, there's no touch like your mom's, right? So that's a beautiful thing. So if your mom is past year, that's what I like to call a visitation. When you really see someone in your dream, and in the dream, especially if you're physically contact with them or you hear them and you're speaking to them, that to me is a visitation. And they do that, past souls, just to come in and kind of, wisp through to show us that they love us. And just like what I was talking about before in my meditations with soul love, when someone's passed over and they're now in paradise, thus I'm at Paradise Studios, um, when someone's passed over and they're in paradise, which is what I call heaven, and they have love for you, because they still have love for you, right? The love lives on in the soul. That never dies. It just transforms into a different energy. The love they have for you on the other side is a higher love. It's a higher energy. So if you think you were loved by your parents in this lifetime, you can't even imagine how much they're loving you from the other side. It's just so much of an energy force. Um, so yeah, when you feel things like that, it's definitely a visitation. Anne Rothney says, I had an elderly Facebook friend passed 6 months ago. I dreamed of him for the first time and even told my daughter. Um, all morning long I would hear songs in his favorite group. I feel he visited that night in my dream. Possible. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have many friends who've passed over and they visit me. And it's not like they sit at the bottom of my bed. I'm not clairvoyant in the sense of visual. I am cognizant, clairaudient. I don't see spirit. I choose not to do that. That would just, I don't know why. I just feel like that would make me uneasy. So I ask not for that. But every other clair I have, my clairs, um, clairvoyant, clairaudient, all that, but in a mental way. Uh, I believe when we have dreams like that with past loved ones, it's definitely a visitation. Their energy is connecting with us. And what I want to talk about with that is the reason why oftentimes that happens in dream state is because, like I just said before, when we're in a conscious three-dimensional state, which is what we all live in all the time, well, the world is now changing into the fourth dimension, which is why everything's so topsy-turvy. But for intents and purposes of this conversation, we're in 3D, right? We live in a three-dimensional world. It's all duality. Yes, no, love, hate, good, bad, crappy, nice, it's all day long, right? But when we're in dream state and we're asleep, that duality is gone. We are just in a complete state of not non-choice, right? Non-duality, non-good, bad, love, hate. We're just there. So our vibration is slightly higher in dream state than it is in our mental 3D world. Like I know when I'm in a deep sleep, I probably surpassed the fifth dimension. I think I'm more like in the seventh dimension in dream sleep because of all the exercises and work I do with living above the five senses. But when we're asleep, we lose that inhibition to resist anything. So our loved ones can come through because we're not thinking, oh, I didn't really see that. Oh, I don't really hear that. Oh, no, I didn't see that. That didn't really happen. There's none of that. So they come to us in dream state because we're open to it. And I will tell you that it's not easy for people on the other side to come to us in dream state because they actually have to lower their vibration to sync with us in that dream state. They're flying high. They're vibing high. They're not even in this realm. They don't even have a body. They don't even have a physical form. They're plasma. They're light. So they have to kind of wind themselves down even for us to see them in dream state. So when you have a dream like that, that loved one really wanted you to see that dream, really wanted you to hear their voice or feel their kiss or feel their touch. They really wanted to come in to give you that beautiful gift. So, and that's what I believe. So, you can argue the point or do whatever, but that's what it is. Like Michelle says, she dreams of her mother often. Yeah, because your mom and you probably have quite a connection, especially if they're souls that we are repeating lives with time and time again. I have souls that I have been with in this lifetime that I know I've been in other lifetimes with. My dad was someone to me in many lifetimes. That my dad in this lifetime, he was my dad in this lifetime was my grandfather in a previous life, and also at one point my mother, and other things. He's just a soul that keeps with me all the time. We seem to have this thing we still haven't worked through, I guess. And when he first died, the night he died, actually, in 2008, September 12th, 2008, when I went to sleep that night, which I didn't think I was going to sleep, and I tell this story often, it's in my book, that is yet to be finished, which will be finished soon. That's the whole reason I'm sitting here today and doing spiritual work, because he gave me a dream that absolutely told me everything I needed to know about the other side. And that was just amazing. So I do believe that those dreams happen with past loved ones to give us messages, to make us feel loved, to let us know there is something on the other side. They so want us to understand and know that the communication is possible for all of us. It's not just me that can read cards, see messages, feel energy through this medium. It's all of us. It's just we have to work and be open to it. That's really all it requires. So I'm going to pick a card for the collective, and then you guys know that you can go on the Zencuda Soul Space YouTube site, and you have Tuesday Tarot up there. Last week's Tuesday Tarot is up there for all of your readings for the week. Next week, I'm going to devote the whole show to cards so that you're going to get all your cards pulled next week. So spread the word. Next week is Viewer's Choice, all new cards, and we'll be talking about that and some tarot stuff next week. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards for the collective and see what we got here. Cutting the deck. Okay, what do we have? Page of Cups, messages coming in, and that's the Pisces card. Neptune is in Pisces. So pay attention to your dreams, because this card, Neptune in Pisces, is all about bringing you messages. Pages bring messages. So we've got the Page of Cups, and this is the reading for everyone. Then I have the King of Pentacles. This is a beautiful card. King of Pentacles is my Capricorn card, and this is where Pluto is right now. So you see all this beautiful abundance in coin. King of Pentacles is someone who is strategic and patient, and that's what we talked about on the show tonight. being strategic and patient in order with the messages that come through, using them to move your life forward. So I hope this card is the Chariot card or some card that's going to move your life forward. It is the Devil card. So what does this mean? Not the literal evil or devil. The Devil card, and this is very fitting, the Devil card is a card of self-imprisonment. These chains we see here, we are meant to break. So listen, stop, look, listen to the messages. Let Pluto in Capricorn transform you and bring you the choices you need to free yourself from the self-imprisonment, all of the bad habits, the sameness. And here we have this beautiful strength card. Look at the infinity sign on top. We are capable of doing anything that we choose to do in this lifetime. So listen to the messages, be strategic and patient, unlock what you need to unlock, take the chains off yourself to move forward in your life, and have the strength to really go wherever you need to go and do whatever you need to do, and abundance will be yours. This is the Six of Wands. This is a card of abundance. Everyone lives happily ever after in this card. So beautiful. So do what I'm telling you to do, guys. So Michelle says she had a couple of other intense dreams, so we'll talk about that. Gira says her mother was sticking up for her and arguing with someone. Wow, see, that's just show you that you are supported. So just know that you can bring in that energy of feeling supported from mom anytime, because she's in the ether. She's all over. She's around you. When someone loves us in that way, we bring it with us every step of our life. So remember, Gira, that that energy is being shown to you so that you know that people are orchestrating things on the other from the other side for you, and you are really, really supported, and you can go forward and do whatever you need to do in your life because spirit has your back. The universe has our back. You know, sometimes, especially in this energy, we can feel ungrounded and we can feel like we don't really know which way to go and we're unclear and we feel unsupported because of that, because of our own confusion. And I always say confusion means that something's going to change, something is changing, because we're in that throes of what should I do, so you know you have to make a move. So if you're feeling ungrounded in this energy or you're feeling like you're not supported, one of the easiest things you can do is just go outside and lay on the earth, lay on the grass, lay on the ground. If you don't want to go outside and do that, just lay on the floor in your home and close your eyes and just feel every portion of your body where it meets the floor, the ground, the grass, whatever you're laying on, and know that the universe has you fully supported, right? We walk around all day on this earth and we don't fall off. There's a reason for that. It's not just gravity. It's also spirit wants us here. He wants us walking and doing and being and living the best life we can, the most desirable life that brings us to our highest good and the most well-used life we can be. So just, when you're feeling unsupported, lay on the earth, lay on the ground, and just allow yourself to feel completely and totally supported by the earth. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm here every Monday at 7. I also do private readings, healing work, and astrology charts. You can reach me at zencuda.com, or you can just PM me on any of my social media sites. On Instagram, it's Zencuda Official. On Facebook, it's Zencuda Soul Space. Thank you so much. I am Georgia Rose, and I am here to help you find your soul space, and together we'll all learn from each other. Thanks so much for being here tonight. Please share the show. If you want to support my work, share any of my videos, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody. Good night.